The sensors flickered across every ship in the Valorian Armada. 2,000 vessels hung in the darkness of space like predators waiting to feast. Admiral Kethver stood on the command deck of his flagship, his 4 eyes scanning the holographic display before him. The fleet had traveled across 3 star systems to reach this moment. Earth, the homeworld of humanity, waited just beyond the asteroid belt. Victory was close enough to taste. "Admiral," his tactical officer called out, "we are detecting a single vessel approaching from the inner system." Kethver turned his massive head. His scaled skin shifted colors as confusion passed through his mind. "One vessel? The humans send one ship to face our Armada?" "Yes, Admiral. It appears to be a cruiser-class ship, medium size. Standard weapons configuration." A low rumble of laughter spread across the bridge. The officers exchanged glances of amusement. The Valorians had conquered 17 species across the galaxy. Their armada was legendary. Entire civilizations had surrendered at the mere sight of their fleet approaching their worlds. And now, these humans were sending a single ship to greet them. "They must be coming to surrender," the weapons officer said. "Perhaps they have finally accepted the truth of their situation." Kethver was not so certain. He had studied the humans. He had reviewed the intelligence reports. They were a young species, barely 1,000 years into their spacefaring age. But there was something about them that troubled him. Something that did not quite fit the pattern of other conquered races. "Open a communication channel," he ordered. The view screen came alive. A human female appeared on the display. She wore a simple military uniform, dark blue with silver markings. Her hair was pulled back tightly, and her eyes were calm. Too calm, Kethver thought. She did not look like someone facing extinction. "I am Admiral Kethver of the Valorian Supremacy," he announced. "You have entered restricted space. Your planet has been claimed by the Supremacy. Surrender now, and your population will be spared and placed into service." The human woman tilted her head slightly. A small smile appeared on her lips. "My name is Captain Sarah Chun of the United Earthship Defiance. I am here to deliver a message from humanity." "A message?" Kethver's voice carried irritation. "What message could you possibly have that would change your fate?" "We know why you came here," Captain Chun said. "We know about the 17 worlds you have conquered. We know about the species you have enslaved. We know about the children taken from their parents, the families torn apart, the cultures destroyed." Kethver felt a strange sensation in his chest. No one had ever spoken to him this way, not with such quiet confidence, not when facing certain death. "Your knowledge changes nothing," he replied. "You cannot stop what is coming." Captain Chun nodded slowly. "You are right. I cannot stop you. This ship cannot stop you. But that was never the purpose of this mission." "Then what is your purpose, human?" The smile faded from her face. Her eyes grew hard. "I am here to show you something. Something that every species in this galaxy needs to understand about humanity." She touched a control on her chair. The communication channel remained open, but now the sensors on every Valorian ship began to detect something new. Energy signatures. Thousands of them. Tens of thousands of them. They appeared from behind moons and asteroids. They emerged from the shadows of planets. They dropped out of faster-than-light travel in perfect formation. Kethver's 4 eyes widened. His scales turned pale gray. The tactical display was filling with contacts. Human ships. Not cruisers. Not destroyers. These were warships unlike anything the Valorians had encountered. Massive vessels bristling with weapons. Sleek fighters by the thousands. Carriers that stretched for kilometers. "That is impossible," his tactical officer whispered. "Our intelligence said they had no more than 50 combat vessels." "Your intelligence was exactly what we wanted you to see," Captain Chun said through the communication channel. "For 20 years we watched you move across the galaxy. We saw what you did to the others. And we prepared." Admiral Kethver tried to regain his composure. Numbers mean nothing. Our technology is superior. Our warriors have centuries of experience. Your warriors have centuries of experience conquering species that could not fight back, Captain Chun replied. You attacked worlds that had barely discovered nuclear power. You enslaved races that were still using chemical rockets. You never faced an enemy that was ready for you. The human fleet continued to take position. The Valorian Armada was now completely surrounded. 2,000 ships faced 30,000. And still more human vessels were arriving. We are humanity, Captain Chun continued. We are the species that tamed fire and used it to conquer our world. We are the species that split the atom and walked on our moon within the same century. We are the species that fights, that never surrenders, that never stops getting back up no matter how many times we are knocked down. Kethra felt something he had not experienced in over 300 years of military service. He felt fear. True, cold fear that spread through his body like ice water. You came here to enslave us, Captain Chun said. You came here to break our spirit and make us serve you. But you made a mistake. You gave us time. You let us see what was coming. And we used that time. The tactical officer was now openly trembling. Admiral, their weapons are charging. All of them. We cannot survive a battle with these numbers. This is your one chance, Captain Chun said. Leave this system. Return to your empire. Free the species you have enslaved. If you do this, we will let you go. We will even help you rebuild your society as something better than what it is now. Admiral Kethver stared at the human woman on the screen. He had conquered worlds. He had commanded fleets. He had watched civilizations burn. And now a single human was offering him mercy. And if we refuse, he asked, though he already knew the answer. Captain Chun's eyes never wavered. Then not a single ship in your armada will leave this system. We will come to your worlds. We will free every slave. We will tear down every monument you have built to your own cruelty. And we will make sure that the name Valorian becomes a warning to every other species in this galaxy that thinks conquest is their right. The bridge was silent. Every officer waited for their admiral's decision. The tactical display showed the human fleet holding position, waiting, patient, ready. Kethver thought about his life. He thought about the things he had done, the orders he had given, the screams he had ignored. For the first time, he saw himself through the eyes of his victims, and he felt something like shame. Why would you offer mercy? He asked quietly. After everything we have done, after what we intended to do to your world, why would you not simply destroy us? Captain Chun was quiet for a moment. When she spoke, her voice was softer. Because that is the other thing about humanity. We have the capacity for terrible violence. We have nearly destroyed ourselves more than once. But we also have the capacity for forgiveness, for hope, for believing that even the worst among us can become better. She paused. We do not want to be like you. We do not want to become conquerors. We want to be something new in this galaxy. Something that protects instead of destroys. Something that lifts up instead of pushes down. Admiral Kethver looked around his bridge. He saw the fear in his officers. He saw the hopelessness in their postures. They had spent their lives believing they were invincible. And in a single moment, that belief had been shattered. You said you would help us rebuild, he said slowly. What does that mean? It means we teach you a better way, Captain Chun replied. It means we show you that strength does not have to mean cruelty. It means we help you become partners instead of masters. The Admiral closed his 4 eyes. He thought about his own children, safe on the homeworld. He thought about the children of the species he had conquered. They were no different. They all wanted the same things. Safety, family, hope. Stand down all weapons, he ordered. The bridge erupted in shocked murmurs. His weapons officer stepped forward. Admiral, you cannot be serious. We should fight. We should die with honor. Kethver opened his eyes and looked at the young officer. There is no honor in what we have done. There is no honor in slavery and conquest. Perhaps it is time we learn what real honor looks like." He turned back to the view screen. Captain Chun was watching him with an expression he could not quite read. "We accept your terms, Captain. We will leave this system. We will free those we have enslaved. And we will listen to what you have to teach us." The human woman nodded slowly. "That is the first step, Admiral. The first step of a very long journey. But it is a step in the right direction." The communication channel closed. The Valorian Armada began to turn. 2,000 ships that had come for conquest were now leaving in search of something else. Something they had lost long ago. Or perhaps something they had never truly had. Captain Sarah Chun sat back in her command chair. Her first officer approached. "Captain, the Armada is retreating. All ships are standing down." "Good," she said quietly. "Permission to speak freely, Captain?" "Granted. Do you really believe they can change? After everything they have done?" Captain Chun looked out the viewport at the departing Valorian ships. "I do not know. But I know that we had a choice today. We could have destroyed them. We could have become exactly what we claimed to hate. Instead, we chose to offer a different path." She turned to her officer. "That is what makes us human. Not our weapons or our technology. Our ability to choose, to be better than our worst impulses, to believe that tomorrow can be different from today." The human fleet held position as the Valorians departed. 30,000 ships floating in the darkness. Silent guardians of a small blue world that had just changed the course of galactic history. In the years that followed, the story spread across every inhabited system. The story of the lone cruiser that faced an armada. The story of a species that chose mercy over vengeance. The story of humanity. And whenever a young species looked up at the stars and wondered what kind of galaxy they lived in, they would hear that story. They would learn that there was a world called Earth, a species called human, and a simple truth that echoed across the cosmos. The strong do not have to be cruel. Power does not have to mean destruction. And sometimes, the greatest victory is the one where no one has to die. The Defiance returned to Earth a hero. But Captain Sarah Chun never saw herself that way. She had simply done what humans had always done. She had faced the darkness. She had refused to become part of it, and she had lit a candle instead. That candle was still burning, and its light was spreading, one star system at a time.